So what exactly a reflection is? First of all, a reflection is an image space in C#, which comes under system.reflection. So reflection is some namespace is within the system namespace. Sandeep sir, what is reflection? Why do we need a reflection? And overall, if I go for developing any project in .NET, where is the use of reflection? Now, when we write a source code in C#, when we write a source code in C#, we have the compiler. Compiler takes a source code and convert in a file is said to be assembly. So we have written this source code in C# and we have the compiler which convert your source code in your assembly. And assembly is in a form of exe or DLL. By default, compiler makes private assembly and we can convert later on a private assembly to your shared assembly. So private assembly means if I'm having an X folder or carrying their DLL, I'm supposed to access the DLL within the same folder, not from others folder. And if we try to access from others folder, it makes a separate copy of that DLL. It makes a separate copy of that DLL. So what exactly reflection is? You start with the first point. So when we have written the source code, I want compiler for CSC, for C# and VBC for VB.NET. When we compile the source code, the compiler will generating a file is said to be assembly, is in form of exe or DLL, and by default compiler makes private assembly. The limitation of private assembly is the data kept in X folder, we can take a reference within the same folder. If we try to take a reference from others folder, it starts making a copy as a duplicate copy of that DLL. It won't act as an add reference, it acts as a call by value. So this is the cause we have to go for shared assembly. Sir, reflection helps for making a shared assembly. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure, sir. Reflection helps for making a shared assembly. Look at one live real situation in project level why you will use reflection. The first use of reflection is it helps to make a shared assembly. Sandeep, why it helps to make a shared assembly? Sir, a strong name, SN-K, and any file name .snk, the strong name key. So a strong name is the command for generating a key, and later on we can associate this key with a source code. We can associate the key with a source code using reflection. Because reflection provides custom attributes. Reflection namespace is having custom attribute, and one is a square bracket before your class is assembly colon assembly key file, assembly key file, assembly key file. So reflection helps me for making a shared assembly. Otherwise, compiler makes by default private assembly, and private assembly means if we have a DLL kept in X folder, I am supposed to take a reference within the same folder and trying to access from the Y location, Y folder or Z folder or in different application. If I take a reference for that DLL, it starts making a copy, it's called duplicate. It won't act as a by default, it acts as a call by value, but not as a call by reference. So every DLL made by Microsoft company is basically shared. You can take a reference. And to identify the shared assembly, a strong name is true, a strong name is true, and local copy false. A strong name true, and second property, local copy false. If local copy false and a strong name is true, it means it's a shared assembly. And to make a shared assembly, I generate a command. I'm having the command, not generating command, I'm having the command sn-k, then any file name. So I'm generating a file, and later on this file will have a strong name as a hash number. Any algorithm, now they follow RSA2 algo, RSA2, right? So later on we can associate this file with a source code with the help of reflection using custom attributes. Okay. So custom attributes are basically classes within the reflection namespace, and one major attribute is called assembly colon assembly key file. So by this custom attribute, we can associate the source code with the key. Then manifest is updated with the key. Manifest is updated with the key. Sir, one use of reflection is it helps to make a shared assembly using custom attributes. Okay. So second point is reflection namespace not only carrying the custom attributes, it also having several classes. Like the major class within this namespace is member by info. Member info. So I'm writing short, no problem. Member info, property info, event info, method info. So there are several classes within the reflection namespace, apart from the custom attributes. I have just told you the major use of custom attributes available in reflection namespace. It helps for associating the source code with the key. Now, once we get a DLL, the DLL will have the manifest, and now we can see the key within the manifest. Now, apart from this, the second use of reflection is a major use of reflection. It helps for versioning. It helps for versioning. Sir, if we write a command CSC, C# compiler, T for target, any file name, .cs, I'm just getting after compilation, any file name, .dll. But there is no version. I have made whether it is a 1.0, 1.1, or any version. Sir, reflection namespace is also carrying the custom attributes for defining the versioning for this DLL. So without versioning, or we can go for accessing, because every application, every software is using a DLL, and they must provide certain version 1.0 or 1.1 once they enhance the same application for the next later use. So reflection helps for first point to achieve shared assembly due to custom attributes. Second major use of reflection for versioning. Once we make a DLL, I want to go for 1.0 version or 1.1 version, how I can go. So again, it has having a several custom attributes. Using those one, we can go for versioning. Can we write a code for this? So I will go for code in next session, in next part, in this recording. Okay. Third point, but I've given you idea. Okay, now we have assembly colon assembly file version, assembly colon assembly version. So by the custom attributes called assembly colon assembly version, I can give in double quotes the major version dot minor version dot build dot revision. Major version, minor version dot build dot revision. It has 4 parts. So we can mention within this parameterized constructor assembly colon assembly version. We can, in double quotes, we can write a version. Now, so we can compile the program. DLL is made, versioning is done. Okay, good. Sir, this is source code. Okay. Taking the compiler CSC or BBC, compiling this source code, getting assembly as a file, exe or DLL. I have given this DLL to any X developer who can access my classes, namespaces, and functions within the XDLL. Sir, if I'm giving my DLL to someone for accessing the classes or namespace, how does he knows how many classes Sandeep Karan has taken there or namespaces there? He has to take a reference first, then go to browse. I should provide the technical documentation there he can get. I should provide the technical documentation. From there he can get list of namespaces, list of classes, and list of functions. Okay. So reflection not only helps me for achieving how to make a shared assembly, not only it helps me for versioning by the custom attributes, assembly colon assembly version. It has 4 parts: major, minor, build, and revision. Third major use of reflection is, if I give my DLL to someone, how does he knows how many namespaces there, functions there, and classes there? It doesn't know. So we need to provide technical documentation for that particular DLL, as MSDN is. SQL client namespace. SQL client namespace. How do I know how many classes there in that namespace? And first of all, how do I know how many namespaces are there in that particular library? The system.data.dll, system.data.dll. It's just a library. I just wanted to know how many namespaces there in that library. How do I know? So reflection, the third major use is, we can get list of namespaces, okay, list of classes, a list of functions available in particular DLL using reflection by the classes, method info, property info, event info, and the member info. These classes helps for finding the list of namespaces, classes, functions, interface available within a reflection. Okay. So coming to a major point about reflection is, So I'm giving a case study 4. So when to go for reflection. Last, I've given 3 major use for reflection. One for it helps for shared assembly. Second for versioning. Third for knowing the namespaces list, classes list is for details about the DLL I can get by the reflection. Using the classes property info, member info, method info, parameter info, constructor info. We have several classes within the reflection namespace. Okay. Sir, case study 4 is really interesting for knowing the fact of reflection. Sure. Sir, there is a developer. He's sitting in a window application or suppose web application. Now, and there is a component folder. There is a component folder. So within this folder, I have kept one DLL is called it.dll. Okay, it.dll. Sir, developer sits in window applications. He is trying to take a reference of this DLL. Assume, sir, we have the namespace within this library is called IT. Okay, and classes within this namespace like employee, second, finance. So we have multiple classes within the IT namespace, finance, and employees. We have several classes. Now what developer does, he just take a reference of this DLL. Then he can go for importing the namespace by using. Then he can go for accessing the class employee, instantiate the class by new operator. Then he can go for calling the functions. Overall, the approach is for accessing the classes of any particular namespace available within the DLL is first he has to take a reference. Yes, sir. He has to take a reference, add a reference. Second, then he can go for using. Then he can go for writing a new operator for any particular class for instantiation and calling the functions. So now first reference, then using, then he can choose any class for accessing the method by the new operator. If there is a static function, he can directly call by the class name. Overall, the experience says, if I want to sit in .NET to use any DLL, I have to take a reference first prior. I have to take a reference first, then we can go for importing an namespace by using a statement or using keyword, and then we can write a new operator for that class. If it's a static function, I can call by the class name. Sir, it means if I don't take a reference of the DLL, using will not work. And if I don't import in a namespace called IT, I can't go for accessing the classes like employee and finance. I said yes. It means it's a composition or aggregation or association. If I don't take a reference, I can't use any class. I can't go for writing a using namespace. I can go for taking the classes for memory allocation and calling the functions. There is a dependencies. There is a ownership. So it's an aggregation, not a composition. So add reference as an aggregation model, as an aggregation. there is a ownership. I have to take a reference first. Add reference. References comes in .NET version. References. And also add service reference. Also add web reference. So now reference means you can include multiple libraries in reference. There is a ownership as an aggregation, as a group by I'm having multiple libraries in a single add reference option or references option. I can remove. It means there is a ownership within the references, but lifecycle is individual. You can remove. Sir, I'm trying to convince by the reflection we can achieve late binding. Sure. So what is late binding? Major topic. Sir, by reflection we can achieve late binding. Why you want late binding? And what is late binding? And what about this case study? Case study 4. Sir, if I don't take a reference of any particular DLL, I'm not supposed to write a using or new operator or calling the function by dot operator. Oh my God. So look at dependencies. it.dll. Then you can go for look at nested as if else. Then you can go for using of that namespace. After taking a reference, the first you take a reference, then you can go for using, look at sequence. Then you can go for new operator. Then you can go for dot operator. If it is static class or having a static function, I don't want new operator, I want dot operator. I mean to say, using new or dot operator will not work unless and until if you don't take a reference of the DLL. Okay. So there is a ownership. First you take a reference, then you are supposed to use a using. Sandeep Karan, yes sir. There is a employee class. I want to allocate the memory for this class for calling the functions. It won't be possible, sir. You can allocate the memory for any class or classes. If you don't have imported the namespace, a class belongs to that particular namespace. First, you import the namespace, and for importing the namespace, first you have to take a reference of the DLL. First, I have to take a reference of the DLL. Then we can go for using a using or dot or new. This is called early binding. Early binding. Binding means association. So first you take a reference. Look at mathematics. First you take a reference, then you can go for using a using keyword or new keyword or dot operator. Sorry, new operator or dot operator. It means if you don't take a reference, you can't use a dot operator, a new operator. Early binding. So overall, you're trying to convince me. There is I'm telling your place, so I'm convincing you. You have said there is an application. Yes. And there is a folder. Yes. And folder name is component. And suppose it's a X application, whether Windows purpose or web, doesn't matter. And in text box or in label, I want to get the result, the function of this employee class. Or there's a button click. Sir, look at what is sir early binding, okay? Sir, if you don't take a reference prior, early, if you don't take a reference, is called association prior. If you don't take a reference, you can't go for accessing the class, accessing the namespace, or accessing the function. Look at dependencies. It's called tight coupling. First you take a reference, then you can access whatever you want. This is called early binding. Okay. And Sandeep, if I don't take a reference, so if you don't take a reference, using will not work. Okay. The limitation of using is, if you don't take a reference, using will not work. Sure, I got the point. It means, Sandeep, memory allocation of any class, memory allocation of any class, I can done by two ways, either early binding or late binding. Okay. And sir, the reflection helps me for achieving a late binding for memory allocation of any class. So overall, when we write a new operator, now today I understand, Sandeep, what's the meaning of new operator? New operator comes under early binding mechanism. The reason is, if you don't take a reference, you can't go for using. If you don't go for using, you can't go for writing a new operator. So for the new operator, you must achieve prerequisite first. Okay. So overall, someone asked me, memory allocation of any class we can achieve by either early binding manner or late binding manner. If I go for early binding, I have to go for taking a reference, then you're using or imports in VB.NET, or then new operator and dot operator. And Sandeep Karan, what about late binding? Sir, I'm making a second case study what exactly late binding is. Sir, there is a application, okay, and same structure, folder structure, there is a component folder, okay, and the data of the employee class in this text box. There is a button, but condition, Sandeep, don't take a reference of the dealer. Look at dot sign, it's a strong line. So, and dealer name is same, sir, same example, it.dealer. So I told you already namespaces, IT, multiple namespaces, and list of classes. So Sandeep Karan, how you can go for accessing the classes of the DLL if you don't take a reference. This is the cause I want to go for case study for the use of reflection. So reflection helps me for achieving the late binding. It means new operator will not work, using will not work, and add reference will not work. Sandeep Karan, can you allocate a memory of any X class without importing the namespace? Oh my God. I'm telling you class name. Class name is employee, available within the IT namespace. Can you allocate a memory of a class without importing the namespace? No. How I can do? So by reflection, using late binding. Okay. Can write a code. Sorry, sir. I can't write a code this time. Wait for next session.